Welcome to the Mike and JD Show YouTube channel. Thank you for being here. I want you to do me a big favor before you check out this clip. I want you to hit the like button. I want you to throw in a comment and make sure you're a subscriber to this channel. And then I want you to share this video with your friends. Help us defeat the algorithm. And then if you like this content and you appreciate this content, please head over to patreon.com/the Mike and JD Show and support the show. That is how we actually get funded to be able to do this. So we thank you very much for being here. And now enjoy the clip. Let's go. You know what? We got IO in the chat. He says, yo, Mike, I need Moose and AJ to do a football convo about the wrestlers and NFL players. I would love to host that because I can match their knowledge. And in fact, I probably know more about it than they do. So a couple weeks ago, Moose took to Twitter and said that he and Goldberg were the only two former NFL players to be world champions. And now people were like, oh, what about Roman? What about Vader? What about, this guy and that guy? Now, he was wrong when he said that because, Vern Gagne played in the NFL instead of Gus Sonnenberg, instead of Leo Namalini, and they were all world champions. So, but that would just kind of probably predates. Like, he's not a wrestling historian like a lot of us are. So had he done a little bit of research, he would have known that there were actually more. But if you talk about the modern era, he's absolutely right. Because Roman Reigns never played a down in the NFL. He got cut before he ever got to take a snap. He never played in the NFL. You can't be considered an NFL player if you never played, right? He was in an NFL training camp invitee, and that's it. Vader, Leon White, out of the University of Colorado, got drafted by the Rams, never played. He did get drafted. He got cut in training. He got injured, and he never came back. Lex Luger made it to the Green Bay Packers training camp. Never played it down. He went to the USFL, and he played there. Brock Lesnar doesn't count. He was a training camp attendee. Never played a single down. He just didn't. Right? But and Moose is a better NFL player than Goldberg. Moose played for a long time. He was a starter. He was also drafted in the third round. He was a starter in Atlanta. He was a starter in New England, but football just wasn't his passion. But he could probably still he probably would have still been playing up to a couple years ago had he decided to stick with football. He was a good right tackle, and right tackles are at a premium. If you're pretty good, you can have a job for 15 years in the NFL. So you can play a long time as right tackle if you stay healthy, and you're decent at it. Even if he's not starting, swing tackles are at a premium too, because linemen go down a lot. So you need a guy that can play both left and right tackle. Moose would have been around a long time had he decided to stick with it. He chose to leave. He really did. People are like, oh well, his arrest happened. No, his arrest happened, and he went right back to the Falcons, and then he ended up going to the Patriots afterwards. In fact, he was actually you could see him on the Patriots Dynasty documentary. He was in that because he was he was a starting right tackle for the Patriots. So he didn't win a Super Bowl with them, but he was there with them during their peak years. Those guys just don't count. Name Brian Pillman was never world champion, but he never played for the Bengals. He was a training camp guy, right? Baron Corbin never won a world title, also never played in the NFL. He was in the Packers training camp. Just was. In fact, of all the promotions right now, the only promotion that has more than one NFL player, guys who have actually taken snaps in the NFL, they're both in TNA, Moose and AJ Francis. AJ Francis actually had snaps, and he only had 20. He wasn't a very good player. He just wasn't a very good NFL player, but he played for a lot of teams, and he actually got some starts, and he actually has statistics, right? A lot of the people that you see on WWE television and they say former NFL player, they never played. They just never did. So that is why Moose said that. He is right when he says it, even though he was not completely accurate, because there were a lot of guys that predate his knowledge of wrestling that did both, that played in the NFL and were world champions. Ernie Ladd was never a world champion, To the best, I don't think. Yeah, Ernie Ladd, but Ernie Ladd, of all the NFL players, Ernie Ladd and Wahoo McDaniel were the two best NFL players and to become pro wrestlers. They were actually like legit star NFL players. Like Wahoo McDaniel was a big name player before he crossed over into the NFL or crossed over into pro wrestling. His career kind of flamed out quick, but he was a very good player. Ernie Ladd, like people are talking about him, like he was in the AFL, and people were talking about him like as possibly being a Hall of Famer. He was that good, and he crossed over, right? Gus Sonnenberg, I think, is in the Hall of Fame, but he played like before the NFL AFL merger. He was like in the 20s and 30s when, like 5'9", like 175-pound guys were like offensive linemen, like leather helmets, right? But he did defeat Ed Strangler Lewis for the World Championship. So he was like, so it counts, right? Just because it happened a long time ago, it doesn't mean it doesn't count. It counts. Leonard Malini is a Hall of Famer, I believe. And he actually defeated Lou Thesz for the NWA Championship. I can't remember the exact year, and I'm not going to look it up right now. I think it was like 1955. So something like that. He played for the 49ers. But unfortunately, so he did win the title, but it was only recognized on the West Coast. It didn't get recognized everywhere else. So it's like a little known fact. So I can see why people wouldn't know that. Vern Gagne had, played in the NFL a little bit. He actually took some snaps, but again, it was like before NFL got big. And I don't even think he was really advertised as being like a former NFL player, because Vern was advertised mostly as being like an Olympic wrestler. So, but yeah, definitely I'm going to clip this one tomorrow at some point. So yeah, tag him. Let's do it.